So we're reviewing Chapter 3, everything we know about parallel lines and angles. So in this picture, which we've seen so many times, we can see the interior angles are angles 3, 4, 5, and 6. Of course, the exteriors, angle 1, 2, 7, and 8. Make sure you put the angle symbol. Alternate interior angles make the Z, so that's 3 and 6, and on the other side, 4 and 5. Similarly, alternate exterior, 1 and 8, 2 and 7. Corresponding, remember, are like 1 in, 1 out, so angle 1 and angle 5, angle 2 and angle 6, angle 4 and angle 8, and angle 3 and angle 7. And then, of course, the vertical angles we've known for a long time are 1 and 4, and 2 and 3. We know that these are equal, 5 and 8, and 6 and 7. We know our relationships really well, that alternate interior angles are equal and corresponding congruent, and same side are supplementary, as long as the lines are parallel. Vertical angles are always equal, even if the lines are not parallel, and adjacent supplementary are always supplementary, even if the lines are not parallel. Just looking at here, the measure of angle 1, this is an adjacent supplementary, or what we would call a linear pair, or LP, linear pair. So that makes that angle 60. Here, these angles are corresponding, and so they're congruent, 120. These are vertical angles across from each other and always equal, 120. These are alternate interior angles, I just abbreviated, which are congruent, 120. And these are same side interior angles, 60. So that brings us to our checkerboards, where we can take this 50-degree angle and zigzag it through, and then subtract from 180 and get that 130-degree angle all the way through. Similarly here, 150, 150, 150, 150, and then 30, 30, 30, 30, just by subtracting. When we've got a double checkerboard, we take it all the way around. So a nice way to look at it is that all the acute angles are equal, and then if I subtract for 180, all the obtuse angles are equal. So I get this huge double checkerboard with a parallelogram, incidentally, in the middle. Here, this is really in the middle here, a trapezoid. So this is an intentional question to show, like on this side, I have 180s and 100s. But on the other side, the 70 and the 110s. So you can have basically two different checkerboards within one picture. Here, just a review of alternate interior angles. Angle 2 would be 50 and angle 1, 40. Again, with the Z here, angle 1 is 25. Angle 2 with the backward Z is 50. And then don't forget that there are 180 degrees in a triangle. So 50 plus 25 is 75. If I subtract that from 180, I'm going to get 105, and that's going to go for angles 3 and 4. And then if I subtract from 180, 75 for angle 5. I'm putting a star by number 19. This is exactly like one on the test. Angle 1 here, it would be 75 degrees. For angle 2, those three make a 180 degrees, right? So that's 145. If I subtract that, 35. Got a backward Z to make angle 3 is 70, and then angle 4, of course, 110. Always helpful to draw your answer on the picture as well as in the blanks. Same thing here, angle K opposite 120, 60 and 60. Angle C, angle O, angle C is 50. That was right the first time. Angle C is 50, and then if I subtract that from 180, 130, 130 for these two. Okay, these two are a little tougher, but we can do them. Here we've got 15 and 15 because of the Z's. And what I like to do with these, I don't know what happened to number 20 here. I'm just going to use this extra space, P-L-A-Y, and I like to draw it blank. So I see this big 130, that's going to match with angle A. And then if I subtract from 180, these two, PLA, for example, is going to be 50. That's that big angle there is 50. So to get angles 2 and 3, I'm going to subtract 50 minus 15 is 35. Similarly with song, if I use this space to make song, here I've got 30 and 50 together is an 80, right? And then if I subtract from 180, angles 3 and 4 are going to be 100. SGN, I said, was 80. And then I've got my Z's in here that make angle 1 30 and angle 2 50. I know those are tough ones. On the back now, we're using our relationships. So we look at those angles and say, hey, those are same side interior. Those are supplementary. If I add up the x's, I get 32x, and 25 minus 5 is just 20 equals 180. 32x equals 160, and x is 5. Make sure if you say supplementary that you add them up to 180. Versus here, these are alternate interior angles, so these are equal. And if I move everything over, I get 2x equals 10, or x is 5. And these here are corresponding angles, which are congruent. So I'm going to say 3x plus 40 equals 9x minus 8. Or 6x is 48, or x is 8. Here I've got opposite angles of a parallelogram, which we know are congruent. So I have 4x minus 2 equals 74, 4x equals 76, and I believe that's 19. Here these are same side interior again, so they're supplementary. They're not equal. Supplementary means adds up to 180. 5x is 55, x is 11. And these are actually complementary angles. They add up to 90. 2x plus x equals 90, or 3x is 90, or x is 30. Looking here, are there enough information? Yes, this is from corresponding angles. This one is not enough info to show that the lines are parallel. Here I've got alternate interior. Here I've got same side interior, and then vertical angles are not enough info. If I've got angles 4 and 11 adding up to 180, that's going to make M parallel to N. 4 and 5 equal, make P parallel to Q. We're basically looking at the lines that those two angles touch. So here P and Q, 12 and 16 again is P and Q. But 10 and 11 don't touch any of the pairs. That's why that's empty set. And same thing with 5 and 6 adding up to 180. Are these lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Q, I'm just going to use the symbol parallel, and then the symbol for perpendicular is the upside down T. P and Q are perpendicular, P and R are perpendicular, and then P and S aren't really anything. If I have segment TZ, if I'm going to go parallel, I'm going to have one of these red segments. You have a question just like this on the test, although you only have to name one of the segments on the test. Here I have you name all three. Intersecting, those cross, so those would include the letter T or the letter Z. So this would be like ST, UT, WZ, and YZ. Skew then are our leftover segments. So the skew segments would be like SV or VU or WX or XY. And then finally, what kind of lines are they? Intersecting, parallel, or skew. Again, I'm going to use the symbol. Those are parallel. There's no symbol for skew, so I got to write it. Or intersecting, I guess, so I got to write that. And then U and W, those intersect, and M and N are skew. Oops. So there we have it, the Chapter 3 review sheet.